Greetings and salutations, Earthlings. Doobie here, and I'm going to do a random collective reading. I'm in Spokane, Washington, my husband's daughter, and we're having a lot of fun. And this is officially, I believe, the 39th state I've been to. It might be the 40th. And then tomorrow we're going to Idaho, Coeur d'Alene, and that will be either the 40th or the 41st state I've been to. So I'm like super excited, of course, to see my stepdaughter and her fiance. But anyway, so I am having a good time. But hence, if you have been here before, the new background, they're all out going for a bike ride. And I'm reading about Psyche and Cupid. So I apologize for the sound. I believe it's going to be a little bit echoey because I did not bring my microphone, but I wanted to do a random collective reading. If you are interested in a personal reading, astrology or tarot, my information is down below. Yeah, welcome. If you've never been here before, if you have been before, welcome back. And I am limited to one deck of cards this time. So I'm just going to do a Celtic cross. And what was on my mind, my heart and mind this morning is, what is our message? And when I say our, I mean us, you, me. What is our message? So let's see. These Pentacles, well, there it is. The fucking message. That's kind of funny. Ace of Pentacles, that's the situation that we're in right now. Again, this is a Celtic cross. So Pentacles are new beginnings. I always think when I see the Ace of Pentacles, I think of New Earth. What's the crossing card? So we're bringing New Earth. I was about to say a message to New Earth, but no, we're fucking bringing New Earth. That's our message. The Nine of Wands. This is the crossing card. So this is where we go. What's presenting difficulty, or what do we have to cross in order for the situation? What is impeding the situation, or what do we have to grow through to get through the situation? And this guy's tired. This is like going through it. I've been through it. These are all the battles I've been through, but I'm weary, but I can still continue. You know, I'm battle torn and weary. I think it's the don't quit before the miracle happens card. So what is driving us? What is subconsciously driving us? The King of Cups. He's come out a couple of times in readings. Cups are emotions, spirituality, things flowing, our feelings, and the king is the masculine principle of that. So what is driving us, what is in the subconscious is, you know, the kings are yang energy, so it projects outwards. We want to share our unconditional love. The cups are unconditional love. Wow. All right, where are we coming from? The Queen of Wands. So this is fire. Fire is manifestation. Fire is creativity, passion. She's a witchy card. So like she is the manifester. This is the spiritual journey. And the queen is receptive. You know, this is like where we are receiving. And so we have created in our womb of thought, or whatever you call it, in our womb of desire, we have this creative idea. Maybe we've received it from God or spirit or universe, whatever you want to call it. And she's the witchy one. She's the one that creates yeah, there's something that we have, there's a creative project, a creative endeavor, which is a new world, a new beginning. That's our message. And we want to, that's so cool. We want to move that forward. It's a message of unconditional love, service to others, taking care of one another. What, what are we moving? Like, what is our known objective? The Knight of Pentacles. We are willing to do the work that it takes to create. He's planted all the seeds in this field back there. The knights are active, they do the work. So the Knight of Pentacles works diligently and may not always be recognized for the work that he's doing, but he is the most productive card of the deck. But it's slow going, but because we have the love to put into this creation. How does this translate into what is our message? It's just a new way to live, a new life, a new um purpose. I look at different things when I pull the cards out, and I'm looking at this like almost like it's a portal, walking through an archway or a portal that we create, that we put the hard work and effort into. What are we moving towards? So we've gone from the Queen of Wands, where we've received this creative process that we want to translate out into the world. And the Wheel of Fortune, read reversals. Wheel of Fortune is things are shifting. We're moving in the direction of things going up, things going down. The Wheel of Fortune is like it can be good or bad, but the wheel keeps turning. What goes up must come down, and so we are moving through that as this guy. You know, we're tired, but we got to keep going. And I feel like maybe we are starting to see crazy. We have a lot of court cards in here. So I think that represents court cards can represent people in our experience too. But I feel like this may be kind of different stages that us as a collective are in, and that we as one person may embody simply. Maybe you're more one than the other. But with the Nine of Wands coming out, it's like I think we might be beginning to see some of the fruits of our labor, but there is turmoil in the process of that happening. The lens that we're looking through, okay, is the Knight of Swords. This is a rather difficult card. It's the opposite. It's a very dissimilar energy from the Knight of Pentacles. The lens that we're looking through, maybe we are seeing swords are air energy. That's our mind, our mentality. So maybe it can be harsh words. The Knight of Swords can kind of be a douchebag, but again, this is in our mind. So maybe there's a lot of mental chatter that we're looking through. Maybe this can be like looking at things negatively, but this is also a very quick thinking card, a very fast card. This is the fastest card in the deck, and this is the slowest card in the deck. So this could be emerging as like the lens that we're looking through. What is our message? There is something is forming, but it's taking time, it's taking calamity, but at the same time, it's not happening fast enough. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, sometimes I feel like we're in the slowest apocalypse ever. But yeah, we're looking at what we're seeing. Maybe we're thinking negatively about it sometimes, how others see us, and maybe how we are viewing other people, but yeah. And the Page of Swords. So the lens that we're looking through is the Knight of Swords. Okay. That's like the knights are like a teenager energy. It's kind of like rowdy and rambunctious and can be because it's the swords. All of the knights are teenager energy, but because of the swords, this can just be harsh with our words. It's quick with our words and our thoughts and like rapidly thinking. How others see us though is the page of swords. So the pages are more childlike energy. That's a little bit more playful, innocent. The sword ultimately is the sword of truth. So like we could be coming in hot with what we feel like is the sword of truth. And it's kind of curious and cool to me that we are not being viewed that way, though, because this is like a lighter touch. But maybe there's something here about not being believed. That could be, and maybe not believing ourselves, because the pages, because that is a childlike energy, it can a little bit be like, um, the imposter syndrome, because we are adults and this is the card of the child, but in the Bible it says be like children. And so, yeah, that's really, I'm going to get back to that in a second. Our hopes and fears. The Knight of Cups. My God, the Knight of Cups is, we have three knights here. The knights are, in general, the theme of the knights is where we are doing shit. You know what I mean? Like the kings sit in a throne, but the knights go out and fight the wars and, do all the stuff. Very technical. And it came out with the sun. The sun is the most optimistic card. The knight goes out and offers unconditional love. There's their heart. It's a very gallant card. It's a card about like love and, relationships. But in the hopes and fears spot, I feel we are afraid to be optimistic. The sun is the sun shining on your back, things coming to light. So while the sun is an optimistic card, it's not necessarily always, not everybody wants the light shining everywhere, and like, hey, here's my couple of, I'm not trying to be gross, but some people are not down with that. This is reminding me of like, there was a bar I used to hang out at many, many years ago at in Breckenridge, Colorado, and it was called Uhlers. There was a guy who was the manager, and he was such a douchebag. And like the bartenders were super cool though. But the guy was from New York, and he would, and we were in Breckenridge, Colorado, but he would like chain down everything outside the restaurant, and everybody was trying to out to try to get money from him, right? But like it wasn't really like that in Breckenridge, Colorado, so you brought a mentality from one area that's probably a pretty smart way to be in that area, but he brought it to an area where that's just not how people operated, and so nobody could stand them, but they liked bar because they liked bartenders. But that's kind of like what this feels like we are looking through the lens of, wow, man, I'm just trying to offer my loving presence to all these assholes out here that I'm seeing through the lens I'm looking through, and sometimes like kids can be super cool, like, and chill to somebody who's a total asshole because they just don't know any better, and it doesn't bother them because kids don't understand always, like little kids, like sarcasm and the ways that adults insult each other. That's kind of what's coming to me right now. This is how other people see us. Like maybe we're really stewing on shit, like, God, what a bunch of jerks. But in reality, they're looking at us like, man, they're just unfazed by all the shit I'm throwing at them. So, but the original thing I came in with was, what's the message? And I feel like we we are the message. Like, thanks a lot, guys. Lame. I try to get specific on these readings sometimes, but you know what? It's just not how my guides work. And I feel that's because the individuals who are watching here, perhaps what your message is. You know there's a general theme of what you're doing, but it's like we are getting encouragement, that the hard work that you are putting in, it's not for nothing. It's not for nothing. But in the hopes and fears spot, like, am I just making an ass of myself for nothing? the outcome. Four of Swords, clear your mind. This is a card of rest, recovery, um, prayer, meditation, connecting to your higher power. I'm going to do a little bibliomancy from brought two books with me. Meditations. So, do kind of a long paragraph, I'm sure. Okay. In the morning, when thou risest unwillingly, let this thought be present. I am rising to the work of a human being. Why then am I dissatisfied if I am going to do the things for which I exist and for which I was brought into the world? Or have I been made for this, to lie in the bedclothes and keep myself warm? But this is more pleasant. Dost thou exist then to take thy pleasure and not at all for action and exertion? Dost thou not see the little plants, the little birds, the ants, the spiders, the bees, working together to put in order their several parts of the universe? And art thou unwilling to do the work of a human being? And dost thou not make haste to do that which is actually according to thy nature? But it is necessary to take rest also. It is necessary. However, nature has fixed bounds to do this, bounds to this too. She has fixed bounds to eating and drinking, and yet thou goest beyond those bounds, beyond what is sufficient. Yet in thy acts it is not so, but thou stoppest short of what thou canst do. So thou lovest not thyself, for if thou didst, thou wouldst love thy nature and her will. I'm reading the rest of this because, but those who love their several arts exhaust themselves in working at them unwashed and without food. But thou valuest thy own nature less than the turner values the turning art, or the dancer the dancing art, or the lover of money values his money, or the vainglorious man his little glory. And such men, when they have a violent affection to a thing, choose neither to eat nor to sleep, rather than to perfect the things which they care for. But are the acts which concern society more vile in thy eyes and less worthy of thy labor? We're doing what we came here to do. Like the ants do funnel through the earth, and I'm sure that's important for some reason. I dated a guy who was like an ant professor back when in like anyway, a few years after my divorce. And they're here, they have important things to do. It was crazy. It all felt very it all felt very synchronistic to me. I have been really on my personal journey, really encouraging myself that I'm doing what I came here to do, just in the simple act of getting up and doing it, and not to put so much pressure on myself for it to be a particular thing, or that things need to be set up in any particular way. I'm not doing it for praise. I'm doing it because my body landed here and my soul has a mission and my higher self is in charge and not me. Anyway, hang in there. Hang in there. Uh, thank you for stopping by. And I hope you have a great day on Earth. Spokane is super fucking cute. I love this place. Glad to be here. Peace. Namaste.